Hey everybody, and welcome to Outdoor Adventures Live. Been a while since, well, it hasn't been a long while since we did one of these. We did an impromptu one, I think a couple weeks ago, but officially we haven't done one of these in a while. I actually want to start doing these probably once a month, maybe the first week of every month. See how we do, get some questions going, just have a great time. So if you're not familiar with the chat, this is all about backpacking, hiking, camping, gear talk, anything you guys want to bring to the table. Talk about some upcoming trips, talk about Gary's status in a little bit. As you know, my good friend Gary, who you usually seen in some hiking videos, he's doing the Appalachian Trail and he's doing great. So we'll check on him in a little bit here. I'll tell you guys where he is. And hey, let's start the show here. So I'm just going to go through a couple questions. Bear with me. Sometimes this chat likes to jump around, and we'll get these questions answered. First off, can everybody hear me? Am I coming through good? Please let me know. Anyway, first question, is Tim here yet? I haven't seen him yet, Crazy Kevin. You got here way too early. You were about, 30 minutes too early for the chat. But hey, I'm glad everybody made it. This is going to be a great chat. I was really excited for this all day. All right, let's see. First question, Jeremy Murray. It's my favorite overall trip ever. I'd have to say probably the Superior Hiking Trail. 240, I think, miles in Minnesota, 14 days. I had a blast. I didn't want to get off that trail. I was actually really sad when we had to hike out the last day. So I really want to go back. I really want to do another long trail, but so far that takes the cake as far as my favorite trips go. Am I coming to Mohican with Meerkat this month? There's a hammock forums meetup. I believe some of the bigger name YouTube people are going to be there. I'm actually already planning on a trip, so I will not be able to attend that. I was going to, and then a surprise trip I was invited to, so I'm going to be skipping that, but I'm hoping to do a meetup of my own, and we're also going to talk about that. I'm pretty excited, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Maximus, MJG, what are your thoughts on carbon fiber trekking poles? Okay, so I had a pair of Black Diamond trekking poles, and I really, really liked them. They were carbon fiber. They were the Carbon Distance Z poles. Now, I had no problems with the actual carbon fiber piece of those. I know, if you have aluminum poles, if they break, they pretty much bend. With carbon fiber, if they break, they're broken. You can't do anything. You can't bend them back. They're done. I never had a problem with them. In fact, my current trekking poles, the two bottom shafts are actually carbon fiber. And then the top shaft is aluminum. And again, I've had no problems with them. I think it's really, really an excellent material to make trekking poles. You just got to be careful. You can't, catch them on a rock, because if you break them in half, like I said, you're kind of screwed. But I really like mine, and they're really lightweight. Hello from Massachusetts and Kentucky and North Carolina, New York. Awesome. Let's see. Lightweight two-man tent option that won't break the bank. See, I'm not really a tent guy, but the Kelty Salida 2 tents by Nemo, the 2P, some of those tents, don't go too crazy, because you run the risk of lower quality material and it soaking through in heavy rain. You want to be protected from the elements, but I understand where you're coming from. Lightweight and two-man that won't break the bank. So check into those two brands. Yeah, Kevin, I want to try some Z poles. That's what I had. That being said, let me revisit that topic. I don't carry the Black Diamond Distance Z poles anymore because okay, so the way it works is there's like a mechanism, and it kind of slides into that mechanism. That little nub, whatever you want to call it, actually came out of the trekking pole, and I had to use a pair of pliers to get it back. So it was unusable until I fixed it. I had to fix it several times that trip. Now, when I got back home and I got a real big set of vice grips, pretty much, and I pulled that out, I never had any problems with it. I was actually waiting to epoxy it per Black Diamond's recommendation, but I haven't made it that far because it hasn't broke yet. So, got some PA people in here. Mississippi, Georgia, Cleveland, Ohio. Wow. All over the place tonight. This is awesome. Let's see. And if I miss your question, it's because this thing's kind of jumping around on me. So just go ahead and ask it again. I didn't ignore you. I just didn't see it. Kevin, I just purchased a Snug Pack Cave. Oh yeah. And I'm looking for a great cot to use with this. What do you suggest? Like I said, I don't really do anything as far as, sleeping on the ground. Not even sure to what to recommend here. Maybe, just do a quick YouTube search. Maybe go on the Reddit forum backpacking or camping and hiking, and they'd probably be able to offer you some way better advice than I would. But for me, if I'm ever going to ground, I use a Thermarest Neo Air X Therm or an X Lite or something to that effect. Just a simple pad on the ground. Michelle Wells, what is your favorite section on the trail? I don't know if you're talking about the Superior Hiking Trail. If you are, it is the section with, let's see, it's right before, I want to say, right before Beaver Bay. I can't remember. Pretty much all overlooks. I think it was day 12 on my video. That's an awesome section. Egg Lake, I believe. God, I can't remember the other two lakes though, but it was something, we kept saying, I don't know how to pronounce it. It was something like really, really, really short, and we should have got it, but we just didn't. Oh, Bean Lake, the Bean Lake areas. That's where I recommend. So check that out. It's a really good section. It's so beautiful. You're up on a ridge almost the entire day. Okay, worst manatee. Now that you have backpacked and kayak camped, have you ever thought about bike packing? My friends and I are planning our first bike trip this year, maybe 2 big trips if the first one goes well. Yes, I've talked about this in a previous live stream. I actually really want to bike pack, but I have to get a decent bike first. I don't know if that's in the cards. A decent bike I think costs somewhere upwards of $500, $800, $1,000, I think my friend said. So it's not in the cards yet, but possibly in the future. I'd love to do the, what's it called? I always get these trails mixed up. It's the trail that starts in Ohiopyle and ends in Washington, D.C. I actually think it starts in Pittsburgh and ends in D.C. So I'd really like to do that trail, and I think it would be a blast to bike pack that area. Mr. E, are you going to do any kayak trips soon? Yes. I think we are scheduled for Algonquin. I think we're going to do that in June or July, but it's definitely in the works. It's already planned. I got a couple people coming from the last kayak trip that will be joining me. I'll probably be borrowing the same kayak I did, and this time I will definitely wear the life vest correctly because I got so much flack for that. I just wasn't comfortable, but I totally understand where people were coming from as far as safety concerns go. So we'll be buckling that up this year. Let's see. Silent Todd's Adventures. Silent Todd. Do you think a hiker can really get to a point of not spending money on gear to spend on destinations? Every time I say, wow, I finally have everything I need. I don't need to buy any gear. I see something else like that. I just got that headlamp. I may or may not have just got a new shelter that we may or may not be talking about next week. It just seems like there's always improvements. You always want to dial your setup in. But I think if you do your research initially, and I talked about this in my beginner backpacking series, if you do your research initially, I think instead of buying things twice like I accidentally did, you kind of start off with the good gear that you're going to use for a very long time and only upgrade minor pieces. If you can get the big 3 down, then you're golden. So yes, I do think a hiker can really get to a point where they're not spending money on gear and actually spend it on, traveling overseas or, to a new area, driving somewhere, gas money, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I do think it's possible, but for me, I have a bit of a problem, and I'm going to be, I admit it. So it's the first step is admitting it, right? Lisa asks, am I wishing I was out there with Gary? Yes, and I wish I was out there a lot more than I thought. While we're on the subject, we may as well talk about where he is. Gary just texted me. He arrived at camp a couple hours ago. He is in Locust Cove Gap, which is in North Carolina, mile marker 147.3. He only has 2,043.6 miles to go on his Appalachian Trail through hike adventure. And I couldn't be more proud of him. I'm going to say he's going to make it. If he can get past the Smokies, he's going to make it. The weather, he said, has been really rainy. He hasn't had a chance to upload a lot of video, but he is working on it. I'm really glad he made that YouTube channel so I can keep track of him, because I love following AT through hikers. I think I'm following like something ridiculous, like 8 to 10 through hikers this year, and just kind of building up my knowledge. So yes, I really wish I was out there with him. Would the REI Kingdom Cot 3 be overkill for my snug pack cave? I mean, I don't know. I know the REI Kingdom is a huge tent. I don't know. I didn't know that they made a cot version of that, but, and like I said, I'm not very good on, sleeping on the ground, so I'm more of a hammock kind of guy. But maybe someone else in the chat can chime in for you. I don't want to give you bad information. Am I planning to hike with Gary when he comes through the PA section of the AT? Possibly. More probably the Virginia, maybe the 100-mile wilderness in Maine, maybe some of the whites. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I think I'll leave the PA rocks, just for when I possibly do the trail. I'm just laughing at what you guys are saying. Carlson. All right, go ahead and announce it already. You will be doing the AT next year. I'm not announcing anything quite yet. We'll say 95% sure, though. How about that? Daryl says, thank you for all your contributions. You are so welcome, my friend. You'll love the Dream Hammock. Mine was order number 6480, and go Penguins. That's what I like to hear, Greg. 1975. That was the last time you guys won a cup, right? Pretty sure. It's all in good fun, though, bro. Let's see. Jen Larkin asked, what size pack would I recommend for a 3-day backpacking trip? I tell this to everybody, especially newbies when they first start backpacking. Don't get anything more than a 65-liter pack. If you, in my opinion, okay, I like to keep the mindset of only bringing what I need, not going too crazy. I think 65 liters in a backpack is more than enough to accommodate your gear, some extra comfort items, and for you to still have a good time, even at the less experienced level. So anything that is 65 liters or under, that's what I'm going to go with. Yes, Crazy Kev, you were the first one in here. 30 minutes early. Yeah, see, we just jumped around, so let me find out where it was. Okay. If I had to rate the difficulty of the West Rim Trail on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult, how would I rate it? Compared to some of the stuff that I've done in the Smokies, it's really not that difficult. I'd say maybe I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. We'll go with a 5. We'll go with a 5 on this. Because the initial climb, depending on which, really doesn't matter actually which way you're coming from. You're going to hit that initial climb either way. There weren't that many hills on the West Rim Trail. Now, for those not familiar, excuse me, I can't talk today. For those not familiar with the West Rim Trail is known as the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. And it is up in north central PA near the Black Forest Trail, the Susquehannock Trail, West Rim Trail. They actually all connect together, which is crazy. It's a beautiful trip. I did it, I think, a couple years back with Gary. Had a blast there. I think we did it in a overnight. I believe it was an overnight. But yeah, it's not too hard, really. Once you're up on that, once you're past that initial climb, you got views almost the entire way. So just watch out for rattlesnakes, just depending on where you're going. All right, let's see. Scott, I'm glad you're liking the sessions. I really like to hear that. I really like to hear that people are enjoying these live streams that YouTubers are doing. Okay, Wanda asks, is there anything such as a waterproof sock? Yes, I actually just purchased it. My buddy Gary and my buddy Alex Meerkat, they were using these things called sealskins. Now, they're a bit expensive. They're not, to my knowledge, they're not really made of, they could be Gore-Tex. You know, I can't remember. I don't think they're made of Gore-Tex though, but they're some kind of waterproof, stretchy material. And they remained completely dry for the two boys, and they had a great time. They rocked the La Sportiva Wildcat trail runners, the low trail runners, and in snow, in a couple inches of snow. Feet remained completely dry. We just dried the sock out, you know, on the outside when we got to camp. So yes, check out Sealskins, and they make a whole slew of products, not just socks, but they make you know, gloves and other types of clothing. Oh, I hate these stink bugs. They are. I always think I kill one, and then another one shows up to take its place. Anyway, Jennifer S., do you still like your Z-Packs? I love it. I absolutely love my Arc Haul. I wish I would have bought that from the start, really. It is so comfortable, have had no durability issues. Everything is absolutely perfect on that pack, and I wouldn't change a thing except for maybe the hip belts. I've been kicking around the idea of taking off the hip belts, which you can. They're all completely removable based on what you have, and just getting the shoulder pockets, which I already have one. I used it for my camera gear on the Superior Hiking Trail, and it worked out great. So I might actually take off the hip belt pockets and just use two shoulder pouches. So one for camera gear, one for food, and I think that might work pretty well. You can also fit a smart water bottle in that. So let's see. Oh, Tim is here. Party can start. Hey, welcome, Tim. How you doing, buddy? When am I going to hike the AT? Let's see. I really want to do the AT. I'm not making any promises to the channel. Like I said, about 95%. But if I was going to hike the AT, it would either be mid-February or mid-April. I haven't decided on a set date yet. I haven't even decided if I want to hike the AT yet. But it is eating me. The bug has bit me very severely. It hurts how much I want to do the AT. And I think it will happen possibly next year. Okay, we answered Josh's question already in a previous comment. Travis says, I did the Triple Crown hike and it was the hardest things I've ever done. When you did it, you said it wasn't that hard and it made me feel like less of a person. I was really, really conditioned for that hike because I had already started doing my Superior Hiking Trail conditioning. I knew we were going to be out there for a long time, so I was in tip-top shape. A lot of people ask me what kind of conditioning I do, and I'll say it again. I said it in the Superior Hiking Trail playlist. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. I think I gave a lot of good information. I'm not tooting my own horn, but several people have messaged me saying that they were able to be confident with their decision to hike the trail and resupply and et cetera, et cetera. So I felt very, very happy that I ended up doing the extra things and not just filming the trail. But I highly recommend this Beachbody program called Insanity. It's a 60-day in-home workout. It will kick the living crap out of your heart. It will make your cardio go through the roof. And I also recommend taking your shoes off. And if you have a dog, walking the dog every day, you know, doing a mile without your shoes on the sidewalk, or, you know, just even around the yard, just toughen up them feet. All right, Sean Richardson. I'm planning on doing Tracy Ridge this weekend or a weekend coming up. Any recommendation as to where to stay the night there? There are several great camping spots right along the Allegheny Reservoir. I have a video there. I think I usually put the GPS data. I can't remember if I did it for that trip. I'm pretty sure I did. But if you'd like to stay where we stayed in that video, you'll have a beautiful view of the reservoir. And it's pretty secluded, and there's already a fire pit there. So go ahead and check that out. Tell us about your t-shirts. Okay, so this is another question that's been coming up recently. So last year I did a Teespring campaign with these shirts, okay? And on the back it says, let's see, can I turn? Find time and go on your own adventure. So I sold something crazy, a crazy amount of these t-shirts. I also sold some stickers and some coffee mugs, which I bought a couple. And people were asking me, since the campaign went so well, I was really surprised how many products were sold. And again, if you guys got one of those products, thank you so much for your support. It went right back into the channel. It actually let me buy the microphone. So I will be redoing the Teespring campaign. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Teespring, Amazon, or another third-party vendor that makes shirts, but I will open that back up and I will announce it at some point. We'll say by the end of April. I have a lot of videos scheduled already, videos that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you all. So we will throw a t-shirt campaign up if anybody would like to buy the shirts. And I try to keep the cost low. I think it's like, I want to say $17 for Teespring to print a shirt. And then, I'd take a couple bucks and I use it to put back into the channel by, gear that you guys have been asking for me to test. Like I said, audio equipment, camera gear, and everything that I get as far as YouTube money goes back into helping me go, on trips, longer trips, do the AT. I recently signed up for a Patreon account. Even though I really haven't advertised it, I kind of threw, some links in the description and some of the end screen annotations. And to my surprise, there's already people donating to Patreon to get me on the AT. So I'm not asking for handouts, but I will offer the t-shirts as part of a campaign to support the channel. So thank you for your interest. Best 3-day loop in the Smokies. 3-day loop. Let's see. I've only done... Oh, yeah, I did do a 3-day loop. The Lakeshore. Anything around the Lakeshore Trail. If you can't buy the abandoned tunnel, search my channel for Smokies, Great Smoky Mountains. There should be 2 trip reports. One's a 4-day and one's a 3-day. I think the 3-day, you could probably split up into 4 or make a modified loop and do something shorter if it's a little too long for you, but I highly recommend both of those trips. You can probably even cut the 4-day trip down into a 3-day. I know I was, again, really conditioned last year and I was doing very, very high mileage. We're talking about 20 miles a day on that trip. But those so far, every time I go down to the Smokies, it's an amazing trip and I have a blast. Except for the part where I keep getting stung by bees, or bees end up bothering me. And don't get bit by a rattlesnake. All right, let's see. Hello, West Virginia, Tennessee, California. Wow, this is so cool. Everybody all around the area is great. Are you planning on replacing your spot? They tried to renew my subscription. I can't talk tonight. They tried to renew my subscription with the new price. I said no, so they only raised it $1. I'll probably switch to the InReach next year. Yeah, you know what? I did a review about the spot, and the original plan price, which was, I believe, $150, $160. Since then, it's been raised up to almost $200 before I canceled it. At that point, it would be probably better to just use the InReach because I think it's around the same price. Now, I haven't looked at the InReach plan since I did the spot review, so I may be a little off on the pricing. But yeah, I do not like what the spot is doing. They said, oh, we're raising our prices to make our subscription better, but they didn't tell me what they were doing. Did you add new satellites or towers, or what did you do to make the plan better? I mean, you can tell me you made your plan better, but I need to know, and I will be happy to pay the extra price, but I need to know you made your plan better, and I just don't believe them. For an alternative, and I wanted to tell you guys this, well, I mean, I'm not going to give away Gary's position just because for safety reasons at this point, but if you download an app called View Ranger, we use this a lot on the Superior Hiking Trail. View Ranger is basically a GPS app. You can load GPS coordinates in it. Say if you're a follower of Syntax 77, you always post the GPS data. You can take all that data and load it into View Ranger. It's just an app. It just runs on your cell phone. Okay. Real simple app. I'm being lit up too much, but there is this thing called a buddy beacon. And if you load up the buddy beacon and you have a friend or family member that wants to track you, you can check in. Now, it doesn't notify them via text or anything like that, and they have to have the app, but it allows you a free way of tracking where you are via GPS. So if anyone's interested, the app is called View Ranger. And I think that's what I'm probably going to start doing, especially if I end up doing the AT. I'll just have my parents download it, and then they can track me that way. All right, where in the world did I leave off? Oh boy, I went on a wild tangent. Okay, we're getting close. Oh, here we go. Okay, Wisconsin. All right. Also, what trails do you recommend around Allegheny? I'm being blown up on my phone, and I don't know why. Let's see, what's going on here? Something's going on? Hold on, somebody's causing trouble, it looks like. Let's see if I can make Meerkat a mod. I don't know how to do that, but all right. Well, we have some kind of issue with somebody, but we will take care of that later. I'm not worried about people causing trouble. Just ignore whoever's causing the problem. All right, let's see. Where are we again? We are right here. Okay. Let's see. Yes, the giveaway. Oh, I'm sorry. What trails do I recommend around Allegheny? Okay, so Allegheny National Forest. Minister Creek, Morrison Trail, Tracy Ridge. I mean, really anything around Allegheny has been great. I haven't visited all the trails by any means, but it's, it's really, really nice around that area. What has been my favorite backpacking meal lately? Well, I really like the stuff from Packet Gourmet. I think it is, really good food. The only problem I have with Packet Gourmet is, for me, because I'm burning so many calories usually just by hiking so many miles, I tend to need like 2 Packet Gourmets. So they are great for a lunch option for me, but I don't think I like them for dinner. As far as dinner, I'm still on beef stroganoff, though this year I'm going to kind of transition to the cheap backpacking meals that an AT through hiker, long distance hiker would bring. Just strictly trying to shop at Walmart or a local grocery store. Something, just add water and, just eat it right out of the bag kind of thing. Any plans to backpack the whites? Yes, probably with Gary, maybe some of the trails. I am doing the Pemi Loop as soon as the weather turns safe. So we'll be doing that. Do you think the no blisters guaranteed socks are worth the extra money? Have you tried them? No. It sounds gimmicky. Maximus, I can't see any sock telling you that you will not have any blisters. I don't believe that. I think if you hike long enough, no matter what is going on with your feet, no matter what sock you have on, no matter what shoe you have on, you will get blisters unless you condition your feet to not get blisters. And you take precautions like drying them out at lunch and at night and in the morning. Heading to the Linville Gorge on the 17th. I will be there shortly after that. I can't wait. All right, let's see. This is the guy I think was going to be a jerk. Okay, so he's gone. See you later, Jacob. Don't bring drama into my chats. And no, the answer is no. Anyway, wonder what Gary's doing while we're all nice and cozy in front of our electronics. Actually, I heard he's watching the chat right now. So I don't know how, but Gary, make some videos. Have you done any New England trips? No, I haven't, but like I said, the Pemi Loop, some of the whites, that would probably be something that I really want to do. I'm going to need a moderator in here at some point. That's ridiculous. I think we already got rid of him. Let's see. I guess I can put him in a timeout. Oh, I can do moderators. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see. Meerkat, will you moderate for me? Thank you very much, sir. That way I can actually focus on what the point of this is. All right. Let's see. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Meerkat, if you could help me out, that'd be awesome, bro. Thank you. Are you using the stick pick? And if so, how do you like it? I do like it. I am using it every now and then. Sometimes I alternate back and forth between the monopod that I bring, which is the X-Shot, and the stick pick. I use the stick pick 100% of the time pretty much on the Spear Hiking Trail, and I had no problems with it at all. So, hi from Michigan, nothing but potholes. I know you edit your videos with Adobe Premiere Pro. Geek out question, what sort of PC hardware are involved in rendering videos? Let's see, this is an older PC, but it's an i7 6700, 16 gig RAM, and I use a solid state Samsung Evo on the video editing drive. I also have, I don't even remember what video card I have. It was pretty good a couple years ago, but that's all I use. Nothing too crazy at this point. Did we ever share a sleeping bag? No, we never shared a sleeping bag. My God. Oh, boy. You know who has the biggest gear problem? Syntax. That dude is gear crazy. Yeah, I think we both are, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that would be great. If we can agree to Gary doing a live video, I think he would definitely do that for us. Do you prefer sleeping bags or top quilts? I'm a top quilt kind of guy. I can't even imagine going back to like a mummy style bag, sleeping bag. It's just extra weight and you don't need it because you're compressing that back insulation. So I love top quilt so far. All right, PA Brothers Outdoors. Have I ever completed the whole Black Forest Trail Loop? And if not, would I want to head back to that trail? A buddy and I would love to join you. I have completed that whole loop. I did it in about 2.5 days. It was, at the time, it was literally the roughest trail I've ever been on. I thought I was going to die at some points. I didn't know if I was going to make camp the second night, but I got it done. And then the third day was actually really easy. So I love that trail. Yeah, my hiking schedule is pretty crazy at this point, and I really like to hike at my own pace. So I try not to do too many trips with people that I don't know. Take no offense to that, by all means, but you know, I'd have to meet up with people and you know, to be able to be comfortable enough to hike around. And also keep in mind I'm filming, so that there's a little bit of a I'm not going to say an embarrassment thing with that, but you know, it makes me a little uncomfortable to film around people that I don't know. Gary is totally going to make it. I'm glad he changed his mind. I'm following. Yeah. Gary's channel is Gary on the AT. And there are so many trolls out. I'll tell you what. I can't ban people. I can put them in timeouts. Would I ever do the PCT? I would love to do the PCT. The problem with that is I would have to probably get a tent for that, and I do not sleep well on the ground. I just don't like sleeping on the ground. I like being in the air. Makes my back feel good when I'm hiking. If I do the AT, I will be hanging in a hammock the entire way. I actually have a woman at my work. She doesn't work directly for us, but she's across the hall. She's done the AT, and I've been talking to her for the past couple weeks about how it would be, you know, hammocking that trail, and she said there shouldn't be any problems. Have you ever looked at the Loyalsock Trail in northern PA? Yeah, you know what? Me and Gary were scheduled to do that trail last year. I don't know what happened. I think we got tied up with the SHT, Spear Hiking Trail, and we just never made it out there. It may be on the trip list this year, though. I gotta see. I have 4 or 5 trips planned already, and those are up to June. So we have a lot of trips coming up. Man, where are these trolls coming from? Yeah, don't feed the trolls, guys. They're just here to piss everybody off, so I don't really care. Anyway, let's see. Leanne Mills. Hey, I live about 25 minutes from Raccoon, wondering if this summer you would be up for a day hike, possibly this spring or summer. I'm a guy, by the way, and just under my wife's name right now. You know what? I always hike that trail, so I wouldn't be surprised if you actually just see me up there one day. I'm usually there almost every other Saturday. So if you're up there on Saturday, come say hi. Be at Old Loggers Path in Shunk, PA, Memorial Day weekend. Oh, I'll be doing it in 3 days. This will be my first multi-day trips. Any tips and pointers? Like Darwin on the trail says all the time, embrace the suck. You know, you're not going to get, you may not get at least, you know, beautiful 70-degree days every time. There might be some rain. But, you know, just take it as it comes, and then you'll look back on it, you know, wow, this trip was amazing. It's funny, you know, every time I'm out there, I'm like, why in the world am I doing this? And then when I get back, I was like, man, I can't wait to do it again. It's a little love-hate relationship. What is a good, affordable, non-hammocking tarp? I would like to have one in case of a storm or heavy downpour hits in the middle of the day while hiking. Again, I don't do too much ground sleeping, if at all, but, you know, really any tarp that you can use in a hammock, you know, some kind of hex tarp or diamond-shaped tarp would be perfectly fine. I know Mastrop has a, what is it, a Kelty tarp that's always on sale for 20 bucks all day long. It just depends on when you hit it, so check that tarp out. What are your thoughts on the Warbonnet Thunderfly tarp? I have not used it, but Warbonnet tarps in general are really, really good. They're really, really well designed. And, you know, I had no problems with my Edge tarp, but I can't comment on the Thunderfly. There you go. Both of you will be on Old Loggers Path Memorial Day. Any thoughts on the Canadian Preppers bug out bag? No comments on Preppers. Yes, your feet will still sweat in those waterproof socks, like the sealskins. So you will have to, you know, turn them inside out, let them dry out while you're sleeping. Every Dolly Sods, and hold on, I'm going to adjust my mic real quick. Okay, hopefully I didn't blow you guys' ears out. Every Dolly Sods video I watch makes it sound like it's very difficult to navigate. No blazes, very little signage. Is it really as easy to get lost there as it seems on YouTube? If you are carrying a map and you look at the map at every junction, you should be totally fine. I did get, not lost there, but I took the wrong trail. And, you know, I ended up going, so we were supposed to go this way. I ended up going around and down and a little made like a figure 8. That was because I was like, okay, I need to go left, right, and then left. Don't do that. Bring a compass there. I mean, it definitely helps. But I don't think it's that easy to get lost. Near the western portion of Bear Rocks, it's a little confusing, but just follow the trail. The trail is very well defined, so you shouldn't have any problems. Just be careful. Yeah, Bigfoot Farmer, we were just talking. Gary is at Locust Cove Gap, mile marker 147.3, and has 2043.6 miles remaining on the AT. I just recently talked to him tonight over text. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I don't believe in Bigfoot, no. Color is the dress. Just picked up the multi-pack for my ARC haul and love it. You know, I was looking at that, and then I was like, you know what, I should just get the shoulder pouches, the chest pouches for my ARC haul, and I think that's going to be good. All right, let's see. If you do the AT, are you going to sign up for the Trek contest? I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to check that out. We touched on the t-shirts. I may be doing another campaign soon. Be sure to watch the archive of this video if you came in late. Dan Hatter, sorry if I'm butchering your name. Go Pens, also thank you so much for all your videos and tips. I base most of my set off of your tips. Glad to hear that, man. Appreciate it. Okay. Glad you're doing these live chats more frequently. I always learn good info from you and enjoy the content. Well, thank you very much. Oh, okay. I'll check Cafe Press out. I'm just getting into short little day hikes. What do you think the difference is between just walking and a day hike? Is it intention, location, carrying gear, or is there not a major difference? You know, if you're just doing short day hikes, I don't think there is really a difference than just walking in the woods at that point. You know, obviously you want to bring some food if you're going on a little bit longer of a hike, water. maybe a filter. But I think if you're safe, it's pretty much just like walking. Same with my trips, even long hiking trips, 20-mile days. It's just walking and bringing enough stuff to survive for an extra couple days. So nothing different than that. I think a lot of people overthink hikes and what they should bring on trips. Have you used an incubator under quilt? If so, did you have any troubles getting a flat lay? I have a Phoenix, a Hammock Gear Phoenix under quilt, and I have never had a flat lay issue in that. I do plan, if I do hike the AT, to get a set of $20 burrow and incubator combos, so I will let you know. But that's not going to happen for quite a while. Have I ever hiked Kelly's Run outside Lancaster, PA on the north side of the Susquehanna? I don't think. We did the full STS, but I don't think that was part of it, so no. I would love to go to Isle Royale, Michigan. That would be an awesome, awesome thing. Let's see. Have the Ultra. So recently I switched to the Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s. I absolutely love them. I have only done that one 20-mile day hike, plus I wear them every day as my casual shoe. I really like them. I have no problems with them. Whether they help my IT band issues is still up for debate. So far, the answer is yes, but I don't want to tell you 100% that it has cured all my issues. Grayson Highlands, I would also hit while on the AT, so I'm kind of trying to avoid that area. Maybe we will do a section of that, though. Hey, Ian, glad you made it. Oh, Gary is in here. Say hi to Gary, everybody. I'm freezing out here. Oh, that's pretty funny. Put your shirt on, Gary. That's awesome. Great show. You got me off the couch starting to doing day hikes. Thanks from Western Massachusetts. Thank you for watching. That's so good to see Gary with technology while on the trail. This is so neat. Anyway, about the origin of Frozen. What kind of teacher lets her students, massage each other? I know, and how do I get in? Oh man, you got to go to chorus class where I went to school, man. I don't know what to tell you. Tim81, hey Frozen, is it worth it to dehydrate your own food? Thanks. You know what? I don't know, but if you want some dehydrating, I think people that are just starting to get into dehydrating, check out SB Outdoors. They've been actually posting some of their dehydrated meals and sharing them with their wives, and it's kind of hit or miss whether they like them or not, but if you want better information than what I can give you, check out SB Outdoors. This is Trevor's wife. What do you recommend for the wife or tag along who is not into hiking but goes for the love of her husband? Patience. Let's see. Try not to make a bad situation worse. If it's raining, Trevor probably knows it's raining and you don't need to tell him that it's raining. But honestly, if you don't enjoy it, don't go. I'm sure Trevor is not going to be hurt about it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. What are you doing? When are you doing the Pemulou? I plan to do it the last weekend in June. I'm not sure. I got to see how all these other trips plan out, so I can't give an exact date. Why don't I ask people to donate money on your chat? I will never ask for a donation. If people want to donate, by all means, go ahead. It goes right back into the channel. I just don't like asking for handouts. I get decent money through YouTube. I get decent money through Amazon referral links. And I put all that money back into gas money, gear upgrades, making the YouTube channel better, etc., etc. So if you guys want to donate, by all means, go ahead and donate. There is a super chat feature, but it's not going to, make or break me. So I will never ask for donations. Let's see. Have you ever thought about doing a hiker feed to help the thru hikers out with Trail Magic? I think I actually did give Trail Magic already. I didn't do a feed on it. and I didn't want to advertise this because, you know, you do it out of the goodness of your heart, not to be like, hey, I donated, or hey, I did trail magic for these guys. Like, whatever, it is what it is. I actually brought a 24 pack of, it was Bud Light, but it was all I had. I brought it, when I did the Virginia Triple Crown, I just left it at the trailhead, and then I picked up the cooler on the way back to the car. It wasn't in the video, but I did give them some trail magic, and it was all gone when I got back. So, Verizon is very good service out here. I'm going to bed, though. Hiker Midnight. Good night, Gary. I probably missed you, though. Ever thought about the long trail? I'm assuming you mean the Vermont long trail. Yes, I have. That was actually up for grabs when we did the Superior Hiking Trail. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. So, you know, I might end up doing it. I don't think it will be this year, but perhaps maybe 2 years from now. All right, Mike asks, would I recommend a winter overnight for a beginner? If so, any tips? I actually would not recommend a winter overnight for a beginner unless you're going with someone that kind of has done winter backpacking before. Winter backpacking is a complete different animal. You know, 3 season you can get by on a cold night by, you know, just making a fire and huddling on the ground. With winter backpacking, I can't stress this enough. You have to be experienced. My first trip, I thought I was all that in a bag of chips, okay? And I went out, my first trip was in 0-degree weather. If my buddy Josh wouldn't have been there, I probably would have died. And I'm going to be straight and honest with you guys. So, yeah, I probably would have died. Hey, it looks like we got a donation. That hiking guy, thank you so much. It's completely unnecessary, but much appreciated. But yeah, be careful in the winter. Oh, okay. Meetup. So, I'm going to announce this officially in a video, but I was talking with another YouTuber that you probably know if you're in this live stream about possibly doing a dual meetup. Now, my thought is the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail at Route 271. It's a huge, wide open place. It has 5 shelters and something like 25 different campsites. So I was thinking it would be great. And there's a parking lot about not even a mile away from the trailhead. So we could park there, have a little overnight, you know, maybe chill until dinner time, and then I'll head home. I think that would be a great meetup. But it's still in the works. I will be announcing it. It will be happening this year. I'm hoping sometime around May or the end of April or early June. So somewhere in that time frame, I will give more specific information when it becomes available, though. I was thinking about doing a thru hike, but the finances just didn't come into play. Chris, thanks for asking the question, though. Would I ever do the Florida Trail? Yeah, that's another trail that I wanted to do. I think I think if I do the Florida Trail, I want to go visit the Z-Pac's headquarters and kind of get a video, like a tour. I want to do that with another vendor too, and it's currently in the works. I'm just waiting on a date. Dennis Lopez says, awesome videos. Appreciate your insight and thoughts. Take care, y'all, and embrace the wild. I like it. Heard somebody hammock the PCT and only had to go to ground 4 nights. Mentioned he had to get creative a few times. Can't remember the name. I heard that too. Probably thinking of the same person. That's just something that I wouldn't want to deal with, especially because the PCT has so incredibly amazing views. I would want to bring a tent on that one. Favorite 2-night, 3-day hiking trail on the East Coast? Dolly Sods. It's really good, and you can do almost the whole area in 3 days. You know you're getting popular when you start getting that many trolls. Yeah, to be honest, I posted on Instagram too, just to kind of maybe get some new people. Hashtag backpacking, hashtag hiking, and that probably brought some of the trolls in. So it's probably my fault. We probably won't do that anymore, though. I'd like to stick with people that are respectful and that actually want to talk about backpacking. I have we got another one. Let's see. We got Liliana, I'm sorry. Liliana, thank you very much. And Trailcat, thank you so much. Again, completely unnecessary, but much appreciated. Thanks for the answer, man, and I completely understand your point on that. Thanks again. You are welcome, PA brothers. If I considered hiking in Canada, okay, here's a great topic. Yes, I really want to see the Northern Lights. I'm just a little afraid to go up there by myself, so maybe when Gary gets back, I'll drag his butt up there with me. I guess 16,000 is the magic number for trolls. Bro, you're killing it. Congrats. Thanks, Milksteak. Thanks for repping PA. My pleasure, man. PA represent. Lucas, sup, Frozen? Glad to be able to catch the stream. I can't talk tonight. I don't know what my problem is. Great videos. You have a Brazilian fan here. Oh, that's really cool. Come down here and do some hikes. That might be in the works. I would love to travel, but, you know, finances. So, thinking about doing my first through hike on the SHT. Any preferences on northbound or southbound? It depends on where you live. I mean, if you live in northern Minnesota, by all means, you know, go northbound. But I really liked how we went from north to south. You know, either way, that trail is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you guys that enough. I hope everyone gets the experience to at least do a section hike of that trail. Do you think the Black Forest Trail is okay for a fairly inexperienced hiker? I do. You might want to have maybe, you know, 3 or 4 backpacking trips under your belt, Jennifer. But the Black Forest Trail is totally doable. There's plenty of campsites. It's just a little bit hard for maybe an inexperienced hiker as far as the terrain goes. Maybe you want to look at Mid-Atlantic Hikes and do the northern loop that they have set up. So midatlantichikes.com. I'm doing the Virginia Triple Crown tomorrow through Friday. First hammocking tip. Any absolutes I should adhere to? Milk steak, let's see. Just be respectful of the AT through hikers. Most of them aren't going to be there yet, but you know, some of the early people might be up there, so just be respectful to them. Spend time at the overlooks, and please, please go up Dragon's Tooth. When you get to Dragon's Tooth, go around, underneath, and then shimmy your way up to the top of the tooth. You'll be having an amazing view. Don't skip it. People that have skipped it say they didn't like Dragon's Tooth, and that's the only reason why. DD Hammock Tarp, it's 100. Okay, that was an answer from the last question. Try a precursor trip to Algonquin on the Allegheny River below Kinzua. Hammock camp on some of the islands. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat too. Yeah, like I said, lots of fish. Nice. Lots of fish. We are going to be doing the Allegheny Reservoir. Well, we're going to be doing Algonquin. I'm geography challenged right now. But we're going to be doing another kayaking trip. So, not sure if it's going to be in Allegheny, though. Isle Royale is great except for the boat ride to the island. Take the seaplane if you go. Okay, that's good to know. I definitely would love to do Isle Royale. Yeah, I'm pretty far behind in chat probably. Do I use gaiters? If so, which ones? I love the Dirty Girl Gators. I love the Dirty Girl Gators. Actually, just after 2-3 years of use, I finally ended up getting a hole-in-one, and they started being a little bit stretchy. Too stretchy for my liking. Keeping in mind we did a 14-day trip with them. But I really like the Dirty Girls, and they have a ton of different patterns and colors. Do I ever smoke up on hikes? Not really a big smoker, no. Especially the smoke that you're probably talking about. I get drug tested at work, so that's really, really off the table. And to be honest with you, some of the places that I hike, you know, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Not for or against. You know, I'm completely neutral. If you want to smoke, by all means, smoke up. I don't care. But, you know, I tend to not deal with that stuff anymore. All right, let's see. Mr. E, I'm probably the only one of the channels that I would donate to. Thank you, Mr. E. You, Syntax, and Dixie were the first 3 YouTubers that really fueled the hiking fire in me. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Scooter. I know, Bud Light isn't Trail Magic. That's all I had. I'm sorry. I actually, I'm really liking this new beer called Delirium. It's not new, but it's new to me. I can't even go back to, any other type of beer at this point. I just get sick off of it. What's my 3 to 5 big trips I have planned this season? Okay, so I'm just going to name the trips that I have planned already because I don't know what's in the works for later in the year. That's when I usually do my long trips. But number 1 trip is going to be Linville Gorge. Then we're going down to revisit Red River Gorge. I'm going to be doing a ultralight through hike of the Superior Hiking Trail, of the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail again with a couple people. For that trail, it will not be filmed. Then we're going to be doing Algonquin. I'll probably hit the Black Forest Trail. I will probably do the Loyalsock Trail. And I have no idea what's in store after that. Yeah, I agree with David. Mike, definitely Oil Creek or Laurel Highlands for a winter trip because they actually have firewood already cut for you and you can go in the shelters if something crazy happens. Do I know of any hiking fundraisers for diabetes? No, I do not. But I will comment and pin it in below if I do find one. Any New England trips planned for the future? We talked about the Pemmy Loop already and possibly doing some of the whites with Gary. Manitoba, Canada is the place to be for Northern Lights, bud. All right, I will keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Jacob. I have a little notepad every time I do one of these because you always teach me stuff that I don't know. Link up with Joe Robinette. He's a little big time for me. I don't know if he'd want to hook up with a 16,000 subscriber. He is something crazy. Phil, no problem. I will forgive you, but just this once. Thanks for the reply. I love the Dolly Sods on my last visit. How do you afford to take so much time off work to do trips? I'm trying my longest trip yet. The LHHT, Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail through hike, will be soon. I am extremely lucky with the job that I work for. As long as I get my work done and I have no projects going on, I have an incredibly high amount of paid time off that I get to use. Something like 240 hours a year. It is great. If I do the AT, it's really going to be hard leaving the company though. But that's how I do it. Now, if there's projects going on, you usually won't see me even making YouTube videos because I'm that busy. Sometimes my job requires me to work until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sometimes even 4 a.m., and then go in the next day at 7 o'clock and make sure everything's working for everybody. So that's how I do it. A little give and take sacrifice. Slippery Storm, Great Divide Trail. Wow. Yeah, definitely bear spray in Canada. Would I ever consider hiking the North Country Trail? You know what? That is a very long trail. I consider doing a section of that. Probably the PA section, but we shall see. Hey, bud, think the Exos 48 will work on an AT through hike? Yeah, by all means. The Exos is another great pack. Though, I'll be honest, I did put that pack on recently, and it was completely uncomfortable compared to the Arc Haul. Prominence, thank you so much. As a person who's prepping to go on her first overnight backpacking trip this spring, your videos have been so helpful, and I've learned so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, Prominence, for that donation. Again, completely unnecessary, but greatly appreciated. And good luck on your backpacking trip. Yeah, I agree. Joe Robinette would be fun mashup. And greeting from the Netherlands. Wow, we're getting out there in the world. This is crazy. Blake asked, do I ever use the Jetboil stove? I'll be honest, I have not, but my friend Matt has, and I don't like it. I think it's and don't shoot the messenger, I think it's a little gimmicky, and here's why. It's very heavy, at least the normal Jetboil stove. It does the same thing as a normal canister stove, but the gimmick on it is it turns colors when your water's boiling. I can see when my water's boiling by looking at the water boil, so I don't need it to turn flashy colors, and I think it's overpriced. So, no offense to anybody that uses Jetboils, it's just not my style of cooking. I prefer an alcohol stove, and I'm starting to get into canister stoves a little bit. Okay, Joff asks, Curious to know what you do for a living, and would you ever be able to get them to give you time off for a thru hike like the AT? Okay, so first off, I am in the IT field. I deal with the server sides, the back ends, and the software upgrades in my company. It's a fairly, I'm going to say it's a medium company right by now. When I started the company, I didn't start the company. When I started working for the company, there were a total of 8 people there. We've since grown to right under 200 people. So we had to hire someone to help me do the help desk things, and now I'm in charge of like the level 3 stuff that he can't figure out, our help desk guy. So that's what I do. I take care of all the infrastructure, basically, networking, server side work, software upgrades, a lot of stuff. But I've been with the company for so many years, I've just collected a lot of paid time off that I get to use every year. Plus I can carry 80 hours over every year. All right, big fan of firebox stoves. Pink elephants for the win. Yeah, I love my pink elephants on the delirium bottles. Are lakes frozen right now during this time of year near Lake Tahoe? I'm not sure. Hopefully someone can help you out with that though. Would the LHT meetup include an overnight hang for those who are able? Yes, it would be pretty much get there at lunchtime or maybe morning, probably lunchtime. Get there at 271, spend the night, and then hike out the next day. Maybe do some hiking. I'm not sure, but I think it would be really cool. Wife and I thru hiked the LHT and found it semi-challenging. How does Oil Creek compare to this? We're wanting to take our 10-year-old who is an experienced hiker on Oil Creek this year. I think Oil Creek would probably be a little bit harder than the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. So be sure you plan on lower mileage. They do have 2 shelter areas set up, and they do have plenty of switchbacks to get you back to the main office or to the next shelter area. So keep that in mind. Oil Creek State Park map, just Google search it and it'll come right up. Trappers for 100 years. The outdoors is intoxicating enough on its own. So, quick little story. Trappers for 100 years is actually my uncle. He recently had an accident and he is doing all of his trapping and hunting, and he made a YouTube channel. So if you are into trapping and hunting and would like to learn some great information, be sure to follow my uncle, Trappers for 100 Years. Great to hear you're going to Algonquin. I'm planning a 3 to 4 day solo there later this year. Awesome. Okay, so guys, we hit the mark. It's 9 o'clock, but I'm going to go run through the remaining questions, but I'm going to kind of do a speed round. So get ready. Here we go. How about the Kahana Trail in Elk Clearfield in Cameron counties in PA? Ever researched it? I've been recommended this a lot. This is another one of those trails like the Loyal Sock that was going to happen. Last year, we just never got around to it. People keep recommending these awesome trails to us, and it's just hard to go everywhere in one year with work projects coming up. Yeah, they are, Joe. Believe me. Sometimes I don't know why I'm in this field, but then I realize, oh, we're at the end. Cool. So that worked out. For anyone here, I'm doing Laurel Highlands hike early summer. And what's the water situation between shelters? Is one water bottle and filter sufficient? Okay, so Jonathan, you are going to be able to do 1 bottle for the majority of the trail. I'd say from the parking lot in Johnstown to 271, you might actually probably either Route 30 or Route 31. You're going to want to bring 2 liters, at least for me. Am I really considering a thru hike of the Loyal Sock Trail? From what I remember the mileage, yes, I think it's incredibly possible, but again, we will have to see. Keep doing what you're doing. What trails in Linville Gorge are you planning? I was able to stay on top short off at the campsite as Syntax did, and it was one of the best campsites I've ever stayed at. So Dwayne, we're actually going to be doing what's called the Linville Grand Loop. Basically, it skirts along the outside edge of the gorge. We'll cross it twice, and that's going to be with SB Outdoors and another person from the chat. So I'm not sure exactly what the trails are. We got to look at the map before we go. But yeah, Linville Grand Loop. It's going to be awesome. Is the STS similar to the Black Forest Trail in regards of elevation gains? No, I'd say STS is a little bit easier. There are some It's just longer. There's some hills that you got to climb that are just insane though. Date for the meetup, we're talking about end of April, sometime in May, or early June, Trail Cat. I don't have a date. I will announce it on Facebook. So if you're not a Facebook fan, facebook.com/frozensoutdooradventures. So guys, I want to thank everybody for, first of all, your support with the channel. Like I said in the previous video, 16,000 subscribers. That's crazy. So I just want to say thank you for everyone. Thank you so much. Let's try to do these question and answer sessions once a month, though. I think it's really good for the hiking community, especially the people just getting into it, to be able to talk to a real person and seeing their views, and not just me. Tim Watson has been doing this now. I think Bigfoot's going to start doing this. Darwin has a pre-recorded question and answer he does once a week. All these YouTubers are excellent. And it doesn't, some people ask me, do you feel like it's a competition between yourselves and other YouTubers? Absolutely not. We're all just trying to give back to the community, trying to help newbies, and trying to get new people into the hobby, you know, trying to experience new things and new adventures. And it's just been absolutely amazing. And I've met some awesome people along the way. So with that, guys, thank you for this live Q&A. I really appreciate you guys' interaction and participation. And I'll see you guys next month. And I just got a shipping notification that a product has shipped, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, and find time and go on your own adventure. I'll see you on the trail.